You can access the entire episode now at rockfin.com/FKN+, or just click the link in the description to access the entire episode now.
So basically, the car accident happens, and then the initial story said that he was confronted immediately after this crash, right? But then it's an hour later that they make the entrance into the building. This whole thing is fucked up. Somebody didn't get their story straight on day one, and these things they seemingly are just getting dumber and fucking dumber.
Yeah.
Charlie, what's up, man?
What's up, Charlie?
Welcome to the party.
What's happening? How are you?
Charlie Holmes.
Talking about them weak ass cops.
Yeah,
That amongst other stuff. Yeah.
More like security guards or whatever, you know. And they were ready to tase the parents that wanted to go in there heroically and save their kids, tase them and beat the fuck out of them, but didn't have the balls to fucking approach the shooter, allegedly. The fuck out of here. And then, did you guys see that clip of this reporter? We were just talking about getting some truth nuggets from, real journalists asking real questions right now. Someone put, I don't know who this officer was, but they're like, we're hearing reports that some police officers went in there and rescued or saved their kids. And he acknowledged that had indeed happened, but then he fucking started talking about something else. So never really directly answering the question, what's that process that people do, like deflection type of deal. So he basically admitted that that's what happened, but then fucking quickly try to steer the conversation into a whole new another direction. So these cops were able to save their own kids, but they were stopping other parents from doing the same. It's a fucking shit show, man.
Well, honestly, like these active shooter situations are not fucking rare. They have how to respond to these things down to a science that's usually taught through the FBI Academy to like captains and the heads of smaller departments who then come back in and teach the stuff to their agencies. That's kind of how that information and training is disseminated. But yeah, they've known how to deal with. I did active shooter training. You could have two guys on scene show up to an active shooter and you're going in. Like that's all there is to it. Because if you don't, guess who doesn't have a fucking job the next day? So, yeah I mean, there's ways that they could have handled this. Whether or not they could have saved anybody, who the fuck knows? It's not one of those questions that should be asked, but it could have been handled a whole lot better.
Listen to this clip, man. This is the clip right here.
Officers shot. We've heard that some law enforcement officers actually went into school to get their kids out. Can you talk about that?
Right. So what we do know, Vanessa, right now that there was some police officers, families trying to get their children out of the school because it was an active shooter situation right now. It's a terrible situation right now. And of course, just as we mentioned, the loss of life, it's just terrible. It's a terrible tragedy now that took place. But again, we got to keep acknowledging those brave men and women that actually were there on scene.
Border Patrol truck with gunfire fuel.
You see that? Straight up asked if that was indeed true, that there was officers that went in there and got their kids, and he just completely bypassed it. And oh yeah, we got to recognize the bravery of these folks. God damn, man, so many questions. What you got on that, Charlie? I know you've been following it pretty good.
What you got, Charlie?
I've got major Operation Gladio vibes here.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
They were shooting up supermarkets in Belgium in the 70s because they were told this is where you go for the strategy of tension. You just shoot in random places like supermarkets and schools and things like that. And then what do you know? I actually recorded an episode about that called Operation Gladio 2022 after the supermarket in Buffalo shooter, but before this one. So I didn't even have this one to go off of. I would be saying the same thing, but it just stinks like Gladio to me. Or, Democrats losing their ass in the midterm elections. I mean, look, anything is possible with these people. There's no line they won't cross. It's not like, oh, they wouldn't do that to win an election. They will do anything to win an election. They don't give a fuck. They'll fake shootings. They'll do real shootings. They don't care. So I think this is Gladio. I think this is hired hit squads doing this shit. I mean, radicalized 18-year-old retards that you whipped up into a frenzy on online. Like they do that all the time, but like the actual in there shooting people, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know if did you guys ever see the video of Parkland of the dudes loading big black duffel bags in the back of trucks and driving away from the security camera?
Yeah, who was that allegedly? Because I remember they came out and said it was cops leaving the scene or something.
Dude, that's Operation Gladio style shit with shooters, professional kill squads sent in there to start murdering people and pin it on mentally unstable 18-year-old kids with a whole host of problems that have been radicalized and touched quite a bit, maybe not literally, but touched in one way or another by the FBI. This is like a playbook. This is how it works.